Hey YouTube, this is the CSL podcast. I'm Alec. I'm here with Stefan and Joel. And yeah, so we're kicking it off with some shenanigans. It looks like found a fucking lighter sitting on the bar.
Found a lighter in a vape shop.
Yeah.
I wonder whose that was.
You know, it was the most annoying thing I had experienced once. When the State Theater was doing a show, some woman came in and was extremely annoyed with the fact that we didn't sell matches or lighters.
But we're a vape shop, so why would we sell lighters or matches?
So you're walking into a vape shop, you're getting annoyed because they don't sell lighters or matches. Like,
Well, at the old shop I worked at, they actually thought that I was a cell phone store. So
in all fairness, your old shop was a tobacco shop as well.
No. Downtown.
Oh,
Downtown.
you're talking about Premier.
Yeah, they thought I was a cell phone shop.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so let me go ahead and hook you up with a $60 plan, and then you can just dial on your vape. Or how is that a thing?
Well, you see almost all the vape stores in our area besides this one carry a bunch of bullshit. They carry pod systems, tobacco, cigars, just everything.
And the pod system begins.
Fucking pod systems.
One of the most horrible inventions known to man.
First of all, if you work in a vape shop and you recommend a pod system for someone, just go bury your head in a bucket of water. Don't waterboard yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Well, see, the thing that I've noticed about people who generally use pod systems is generally college students. But for what reason?
It's not even college students use the pod systems, it's that they use, like, the Juuls. Like, the pod systems are at least, like, 25, 30 milligram nicotine. Like, the Juuls are, 50% by volume?
At least.
Yeah. And it's never for that they're looking to get, like, a decent vape off, that they're looking to stop smoking cigarettes. It's because they're using it to get high, basically.
Of course.
I mean, shit, weed is cheaper, but... I mean, for $80 for one of those starters and then $20 for juice, you might as well be doing cocaine.
Get that real rush, stop half-assing it. Time to take the training wheels off, kids. Trying to use a Juul system to quit smoking is like trying to quit cocaine by switching to rock. You're not doing it. You're just digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Oh, God damn it. All those chemicals. All those chemicals.
Yeah.
That should be your warning right there. 50% nicotine by volume.
Well, see, not a lot of people understand what those numbers mean on the bottle. Like the 1.5%.
Yeah.
In all actuality, means 15%.
And nobody at the places that sell those pods could explain the difference to you. Anyways, even if they wanted to explain the difference to you, they don't know.
They just want a nice free sale.
Oh, what's starting to piss me off for a shop owner or someone that works at a shop is going to another shop and seeing the vape industry, like shops that traditionally sell vape juice, mods, tanks, RDAs, stuff like that. Seeing them sell Juuls or closed pod systems, because you gotta know that the companies that make these are like companies like PAX that support the FDA regulations.
Well,
when you buy those pods, you are supporting an industry that wants to shut us down. So if you're a vapor who's buying pods, you are giving money to someone who wants to make what you do illegal.
Yeah.
That makes no sense in any stretch of the imagination.
Well, not even that, but when I look at the closed pod systems, especially the gas station ones like Juul, they're salt-based nicotines. So if you have, I'm not sure if anyone's researched on how they're made, they're chemically created. So if you have to chemically create something to chemically break it down, that just means it's more addictive.
Yep.
I mean, we were having
more addictive compounds into the situation.
Yeah. I mean, we were having this conversation, last night?
2 days ago?
Where, about the mountain people sucking on, like, cocaine leaves or coca leaves.
Coca leaves. People in the Andes use coca leaves for altitude sickness, and they chew the leaves with little to no addiction problem or anything. It's not until you pour gasoline over there to extract the powder out of the leaves, soup it up into a base, make it a real high concentrate, and all of a sudden you have a super addictive compound that sends people away for a long time.
Yeah. And now that Joel said a little too much, we know what he used to.
Joel, you fucking bastard.
Everyone has their vices.
This is true. Yours happens to be very apparent.
Well, whatever.
But anyways, getting back to the point, like, you know, you have to chemically create these, and I mean, you could create the argument like you have to chemically break down the nicotine out of vegetables and whatnot, like tomatoes, to create vape juice, but you're not like chemically creating. You're just
Yeah, but at least nicotine is a food-based product.
yeah. But at the same time, you're not chemically altering its substance. With salt-based nicotines, you're caramelizing it to create that salt.
Essentially, yeah.
You know, and then to break down that salt.
Dehydrating it.
Yeah, to break down that salt, you have to heat it up, and you know, anyone who's taken a basics chemistry class, whenever the biggest reactant is heat. So I don't know.
It's kind of like, you know, putting heroin on a spoon and putting a lighter on it. I mean, come on, it's the same situation with nicotine salts. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. And the shops that sell it, it's not even that the owners agree with it, but more or less they're just doing it for like the business aspect. Or like just go into a vape shop where everyone used to use their vapes and whatnot, and I almost guarantee, or at least a couple around the area, 70% of the employees are pushing pod systems. They're using the pod systems, which it necessarily isn't the worst thing, but it's more or less how they talk about it that really gets to me.
Yeah, like that shit the fuck
They
up.
talk about it like a high school kid at their first kegger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, bro, you get this sweet buzz off this, and like, I don't go to buy vape juice for a buzz. If I want to go get a buzz, there's other ways to do that.
Yeah.
Spending $70 or $80 on a Juul system, that is very expensive.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, like the refillable pods are like $15 to $20, and you're getting what, 4 or 6 mils of juice with that?
If that.
That's expensive. I mean, your average house blend juice price is $15, and that's like average going around the different shops. You know, certain places are going to be cheaper, certain places might be a little bit more expensive, but house blend juice for a 30 mil is $15. You know, you're getting 30 mils of juice compared to like 4 or 6.
Yep. And even if you buy regular containers of juice at some of these places, I remember we were at Walmart this morning, and $22 for a 30 mil of juice, and they don't have actual flavors. They have tobacco, menthol, and strawberry.
Oh, they had a strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, and a blackberry.
shit.
Oh, yeah, they're getting real deep in those flavors there.
Oh, God. Let's not forget about the sub-ohm kit they had.
Oh, God.
$22 for a 30 mil.
Who's going to be next? Giant sound vape shit?
In
I
a
love
glass
how-
bottle, too.
I also love how these like Walmart and places like that, I've seen this more or less at like gas stations like a Wawa. Like if you're on the East Coast, you know what Wawa is. But they'll sell you like these old, outdated pen styles and like mark them as brand new sub-ohm devices.
Oh, of course. But that's just gas stations and other shops like that. That's their way to break into what, a multi-billion-dollar industry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like when they sell the crappy pens, $30, $40 for a piece of shit pen that's going to fall apart the second you walk out the door.
Oh, of course.
It's going to leak all over your hand. It's
Yeah.
going to be a mess.
That's ironically the first setup I started with was like a little pen, like the ones over there that we no longer sell, but you know, a pen like that and like a tank, like one of those little things. Want to guess how long it lasted me?
A week, 2 days.
Right on the nose. A week. Couldn't do it no more. Nope.
Thanks to you guys, I got to skip the whole pen part.
Yeah.
Moved right from 75 watt regulated into mech mods, and I haven't looked back since. I wouldn't trade anything in the world for these mech mods, especially not a pen system. Get out of here.
Or even like the high nick device. Like everyone's kind of going towards this mouth to lung bullshit, and it's. Yeah, I understand, like, that's how the industries first started. A lot of people remember that as, like, how they first started vaping, but do we really need to be going up to, like, 24, 30, 35 milligram nicotine juices? I mean, back when the industry first started, the highest that shops went to was 24 milligram nicotine. You know, now we're starting to see higher than that.
It seems like the access to salt-based nicotine becomes more, and those convenience store type places just latch onto it because the salt-based nicotine probably is cheaper for them to bring in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely is.
Philip Morris will make sure that it's cheaper for them to bring in. Well, I can't say that. Your big tobacco company will make sure that they have it.
And Philip Morris.
We'll just keep that
RJ
in. Why
Reynolds,
not?
we're looking at
We'll
you.
keep it in. Fuck it. What's gonna happen to us? I'll see you in federal prison. Like, I'm telling you right now, I got bottom bunk. Just so you know.
I got toilet for making my toilet wine.
There you go.
They're
We
just
got to
gonna-
get compensated for free then. Shit.
It's a mix of mangoes and wild berry.
Are we adding a little drop of the nicotine salt into that too?
Well, yeah, you got to keep them coming back for more.
Of course. The addiction is still alive and well. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole like nicotine salt-based nicotine bullshit. It makes me wonder if the FDA actually had taken the articles that a bunch of these organizations sent out to them. The FDA took those seriously and looked at them and said, how can we actually prove these articles bad? And because now they're they're going to be sending out economists and whatnot, because you can get economists to tell you anything that you want.
Oh, of course. All I got to see is just one little bad thing.
Yeah. So you know that they're not going to be looking at new people who are transitioning from smoking cigarettes to vaping. They're going to be looking at people who have been vaping, transitioning over to these salt-based nicotines or these high nic juices for pod systems. And they're going to be looking at that going, see, they said it was safe. They proclaimed 3, 6, 12 was safe nicotine, but now they're doing 30, which they used to proclaim was unsafe. It's going to be another argument for the FDA. That's what I look at.
It's just a double standard. That's all it is. You're saying something's safe, then you go to something that's more dangerous and say it's safe.
One of the things I noticed from half the studies on vape is it's always done by people who don't vape, and when you read the equipment they were using, the wattage, the amperage rate that they were using, the types of coils they were using, you look at it and you're like, that is not a proper setup. Half the time it looks like they went and grabbed anything from the store, the cheapest thing, threw some stuff on it and said, well, this must be how it is, but you're not taking into account that certain coils are meant for certain wattage. You're not taking into account that you shouldn't really use certain materials for coils, which we no longer use, nickel.
Well, people like that who go to gas stations for vape products really need to just say fuck that and walk into an actual vape store.
Well, not even that, but that's like saying, I'm going to go to my local zoo to get my transmission fixed.
Ah, of course. Let me just go ahead and just have a tag or change a tire. Why not?
Yeah.
You've had food at your local gas station. You've had everything else.
Yeah.
You've had everything they offer, and you know for the most part it's garbage. Why would you trust them for your vaping needs? Like,
Well,
do you
because-
think their vape's going to be any more quality than their food?
Well, with
their
everything
drinks,
that
their
is
snacks?
in a a shop like that is 90% of the product that they have is from China.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had like a China-based juice before, but it's quite horrible.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that Shenzhen that we have over there.
It says it's made in America, made in California.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. It was made in the U.S. It was made in USA.
Distributed in the U.S. is what it says on the back of the label.
See?
Distributed. Yeah.
Not made.
Yeah. Just like how iPhones are designed in California. They're
Yeah.
not created in California.
No.
They're designed.
It's just hard to be at a vape shop and to see guys trying to push a better alternative on people, and to have people that are supposed to be on your team, in your industry, supposed to be in your corner, literally pushing back every step you take forward.
I mean, I even talked with a shop owner in the area, and I mean, once again, I understand why they sell these things. It's a business move. They're popular. It's a fad. That's basically, in my opinion, that's all it is a fad. And it's going to go out, hopefully, it's going to go out next year or so. I mean, you look at most of these YouTube reviewers, the first pod system they did, they were choking up half the fucking lung. You know, that shop owner said, yeah, I don't agree with it, but it's a huge money maker. Well, yeah, but, you know, at what point as a community do we say no?
At what point do we say enough is enough? You are giving money to someone that lobbies against your interest every day. They pay every member of Congress they can to get harsher regulations pushed through by the FDA, and you're literally saying, here, have my money so that you can try to shut me down. Why are you doing that? Where does that make sense? So yeah, it seems like one of those things that we see in the business world all the time. You want that short-term gain and you're not really worried about the long-term loss that you're about to face.
Oh, shit.
We can get into that a whole nother day.
Let's not do that this time.
But so yeah.
So if you want the economic portion of this podcast,
break down the economy of shooting yourself in the foot.
yeah.
There you go. Then again, what do we know? It's not like we're, behind the counter every day and doing specific things for customers that are, asking for a specific product that is not a pod system.
Yeah. Well, not even on top of that, but when I have to give a local shop, I'm not going to name them, but a friend of mine went into there asking for 14 milligram nicotine, and the shop questioned them upside down and sideways. They were not willing to sell that person 14 milligram nicotine because they knew it wasn't going to be safe out of the device that they were using and the watch they were vaping in. But then they went over to the other shop that I was talking about earlier, and the employees just hand that person, 14 milligram nicotine without batting an eyelash. Because all those, a good portion of those employees are vaping on pod systems or vaping on the small penguin-style Me-1 kits at, high milligram nicotines. And rather than asking what device are you using this out of, they're just go ahead and handing it to them.
My problem with that is that nicotine is really high, and we know that nicotine accelerates your heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going and putting 50% nicotine, 40% nicotine on a 100 watt or one of these 200 watt devices, you're asking for trouble. It might not be a problem the first time you hit it, but 2 or 3 hits of that percentage, you're going to be pretty sick.
Well, and I explained this to that person, not in the best way that I would have liked to describe it, but I really couldn't think of a better way to do it, but more or less in perspective to medicine. There's a reason why Tylenol says do not exceed over 4 capsules in an hour or some shit like that.
Starbucks tells you not to drink too much of their coffee
Yeah.
a day.
Like 3 milligram nicotine is going to be 3 milligram nicotine all day. 50 milligram nicotine is going to be 50 milligram nicotine all day long. However, 50 milligram nicotine all day long, puffing it like a fucking chimney.
You're at your carton of cigarettes by the end of the day.
You're at your carton of cigarettes by the end of the hour.
Literally.
3 milligram nicotine is, it's not, nothing you ingest that's not natural for you is ever healthy. But, it's like saying, I'm going to drink 10 espressos every hour till the day is over, compared to I'm going to drink, 1 or 2 coffees for the hour till the day is over on the hour, which sounds better for your heart.
For me personally, we all use 3 milligram nicotine. Every once in a while I'll try a 12 or a 6. I take like 1 or 2 hits off a 12 or a 6. I'm starting to sweat. I feel my heart rate going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just not a good feeling.
Yeah.
I could only imagine hitting a pod system at 50% nicotine. Like, I would be sick for the whole day.
That shit's gonna knock you over.
Yeah. And it's not going to be a fun thing.
Well, they said like a lot of the YouTube reviewers that have done like their first pod system review, like they're coughing up half a lung. Like that can't be. And then at the end of the video, they're praising it. So, A, you're questioning whether or not they're actually being biased because they're getting paid to be biased.
Yeah.
Or they're like, yeah, man, this was actually really good.
That's one thing to definitely be careful of. Anytime you watch review videos, you definitely need to check to see if that person's sponsored. If they're sponsored, I'm not saying you should outright discount their opinion, but don't expect any truth on what the negatives are.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get the glowing positives, but we can all give you the glowing positives. When I go for a review, I want to know what's bad about the product. I can see with my eyes and touch with my hands what's good, what's bad about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a big concern. If someone's paid off, you can't trust that at all.
I mean, that even, brings up the whole FDA regulations, In the beginning in August of 2016, the FDA pushed out regulations that no one really understood. I don't even think the FDA understood it, to be honest. But now you're starting to see a lot of states, individual states here in the U.S., really taking it and just running with it. The way I look at it is, who's now becoming the bad guy? Is it really the FDA or is it the individual states? Because you see places like, Illinois or Kentucky? No, Minnesota, I think, that has like a complete ban on...
a flavor ban?
No, that's California, I think. But you see places like that where they only allow 1 or 2 tobacco manufacturing licenses a year. And
That's
if
bullshit.
you have one, and you get it renewed, that counts as one of those 2 that is up for grabs. So you're literally creating monopoly. You saw places like New York with a 90% tax on it.
Let's just get one thing straight. When you go to a state with medical or recreational stuff, and it's only taxed at 25%, and that's supposed to be Schedule 1, when you find out that your nicotine is taxed at 40 to 90%, what's wrong with that picture?
Oh, yeah. Well, what's wrong with the picture when hospitals are saying you can vape on our premises, but you can't smoke cigarettes? But yet the FDA and the CDC are coming out saying how horrible vaping is for you.
That's because they want to find something wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new industry, it scares people, and instead of trying to figure out what it is or learn anything about it, it's best to just jump to quick assumptions, make these broad laws and make these broad regulations, and not actually look into what you are trying.
It's not only that, it's once they find something wrong with that specific product, the only thing they're going to do is jack up the price on it.
Yeah.
Just to make a penny off of it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're dealing with now.
I mean, even alcohol isn't taxed that high. Alcohol around here is only a state tax of like 12%.
At least, yeah.
So you're telling me that my nicotine has to be 40%, but my bottle of Jack Daniels only gets a 12% state tax?
Right.
My nicotine that has never historically been recorded as the cause of a fatal car accident, to my knowledge. I'm saying that because I know some jackass on the internet is going to pull up a fucking article.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so wasted on that nicotine, I just didn't know what was going on. I blacked out, got in the car, and I don't know, knocked over a bunch of mailboxes.
Blacked
and
out,
installed.
got in the car, and kept it moving. Fuck it.
Oh wait, that never happened.
But yet, nicotine is taxed at 40%, but the alcohol that is related to thousands, hundreds, millions of deaths a year is sold in some states in every fucking shop you go to.
That thing you pointed out in Minnesota sounds like liquor licenses in the States.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they don't really give out new ones, and you got to buy it off someone. So around here, you want to buy a liquor license off someone, that could be $500,000 minimum just to get a liquor license. So all you're doing is making it so that these nicotine licenses can be bought by big companies. Those big companies have no interest in getting you to just stop doing anything. They want you to buy more of their product.
Yeah, I know. That whole thing just... I don't know. In my opinion, I think the states are starting to become the bad guys here. I mean, the whole reason why our government was set up was so that you could fight, unconstitutional rulings from within the state level.
Yeah.
And now that we're seeing the states kind of going worse than the federal level, I'm actually almost rooting for the feds to win out on
Because
this.
the state now sees that they can gain a profit off of our gain.
Mhm. Well, I mean, and I was talking with a shop owner, and they are huge into advocacy, and they were saying, the state sees that we can get $3 million at the end of the year off vaping, if we tax it at 40%, but they're not looking at the fact that because of that 40% tax, you have all these mom and pop shops that employ people are shutting down.
Yep. Or you're having to raise the price up on things 40%. That's a big jump. Could you imagine if you went to the McDonald's and the $1 cheeseburger all of a sudden became $1.40?
I'd be mad as fuck.
The $10 Big Mac,
I'd be mad as fuck.
$10 Big Mac combo jumps up to $14. No one would buy that anymore.
Yeah, it's...
If they tax things on how bad they were for your health, some of the fast food around here would be 100% tax. Oh, you're serving chicken nuggets to kids? 100% tax on that.
Got you. It's just turning into a fucking war.
It's a legal war where they just assume that vapors aren't voters. But how many people have we had come in that are over the age of 50?
More than enough.
And they're looking for like their first vape, or they're looking to advance themselves even further into vaping.
And they don't even have a pod system.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone that comes in here is at least 18. That means everybody that steps foot in this door is old enough to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're not voting, tisk, tisk, tisk. You have a constitutional right, and you're going to wave it away. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's shit like that at the end of the day that just kind of really pisses me off.
So I would put this out to anybody that believes in small government. Remember what they're doing to us when you talk about small government. They're trying to leverage us out of stuff for no reason than someone's vanity project. That's exactly what this is at this point. Someone's trying to make a big name for themselves. They want to be the champion against nicotine. I mean, really, look at all the problems running around. We're in an opioid crisis right now, and they're worried about shutting nicotine down.
Mm-hmm.
We got so many problems. And like, no, let's shut these guys down that are trying to vape. So remember that when you say you're about small government, remember when stuff like this happens. This isn't small government. This would definitely be overreach.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that, but like small government, like the town we're in has a ban on. They have a ban on vaping as well in a public area, in a certain public area.
Well, it's like downtown. If you go down to the circle and you're vaping in the middle of the circle, you get like what, $100 fine, if not a little more than that, which is bullshit. It's literally bullshit.
It says no vaping inside the circle, so I walk around the outer perimeter because it says
Fuck
inside the circle.
No, fuck that. I when I go downtown and if I'm going past the circle, I'm gonna walk in the middle of it and I'm gonna fucking vape.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't say no vaping; it says no smoking.
Yeah,
This isn't smoke.
exactly.
I mean, it reminds me of the conversation I had with a mod company where they were talking about what was it? It was either taxes or something about new products, tobacco products, and the owner told me flat out, he's like, yeah, my lawyers told me, like, you're not selling anything, you're not manufacturing anything that is tobacco related, so you have nothing to worry about. If anyone says anything, like, you can tell them to go fuck off, basically.
Yeah, they like to overreach here. You get pummeled in fines. Have your credit ruined because they love to send it to a credit agency.
Welcome to government. But that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day.
Yeah,
we'll do that with the shooting yourself in the foot video.
It's always a good time.
Yeah, we sit here and we look, and the FDA set out some broad guidelines, so we've tried to fit ourselves well within those guidelines. And then it's like the FDA set out a broad line, and the state's like, fuck it, we just run with this. We'll just go and hammer out little by little by little by little. We'll take away little by little until you can't exist anymore.
I don't know, it's just disappointing.
It's disappointing because you expect better. Like when it comes to those salt pods and then the salt nick, and the pod systems. When you go in and you see your fellow vape shop people selling it, how does that make you feel? You just sit there and you're like, what the fuck?
I walk out.
Yeah. Bye.
Our shop is in a very unique position where we can afford to have a moral stance and say no, because we're in a process of rebuilding and rebranding our name kind of just trying to make a different name for ourselves from the previous one. And we have the ability to say no. We have the ability to make that moral stance. Whereas in some other shops, they have the ability, but they choose not to because it's a good business move.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, just because it's a good business move, that doesn't mean it's a good standpoint for customers.
I would say it would be a good immediate business move, but long term, again, you're getting that short gain, but you're working to shut yourself down when you're doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a decent business decision.
Yeah,
but if we as a community said no, we're not selling pod systems, we're not dealing with salt-based nicotine, and convenience stores were the only places that sold it, you might see it start to go down quite a bit.
I think it's already gone downhill somewhat so far, because again, like when we walk downtown, we see like those fucking weird ass corner stores selling pod systems, e-juice, and stuff like that. Like we have corner stores around here that'll sell 30 mLs for above $20, if not more.
There are all 3 of them downtown that sell 30 mils, sell them for over $20. 25 at the one, 22 at one, and like 27 at the one, all the way down on the end.
That's like a giant fuck you to them. $27 for a 30 ml? Nah, you can eat a fucking dick.
27 for a basic flavor, like menthol or tobacco in a glass bottle.
I might as well just unzip and just like stick it in their mouth. For real.
And I'll do that for free. You don't have to pay me for that.
Well, if you're looking for that offer, Joel lives.
I live right down the street and you can come see me anytime. I made this batch special for you, baby.
Well, now it's getting awkward.
I mean, like,
it's like every day.
The high mix wouldn't be as bad if they were running them out of, like, you know, the proper devices. Stuff that wasn't like 30 watt devices. If you were to go back to the old school devices that were 10, 15 watt devices. Yeah. But you're running these things out of like 30, 40 watt devices. At 30 watts, you know, if you're looking for a little bump up in nicotine, you know, just one bump up in your nicotine strength. I know when I normally vape 3 milligram nicotine. If I rock a Mi 1 or a Joytech AIO, which is a 30 watt all-in-one device, it's only 30 watts. I'm not going to get my, you know, the fix I'm looking for. So I'm going to bump it up to a 6 milligram nicotine. I'm not doing anything too dangerous. I'm not doing anything dangerous really at all. All I'm doing is just bumping it up the air to, you know, match that nicotine.
So the customer that I was telling you about that for when I worked at Premier, I had that customer that never had a cigarette in his life. And he would vape a 24 nicotine out of an RDA at 100 plus watts. 24 out of an RDA. 100 plus watts. With no problem. Never had any cigarette or any tobacco product at all.
I mean, 24 milligram nic might be okay if you were smoking half a carton of cigarettes a day, but if you weren't at that point, you don't need that.
Or if you're vaping at like 10 watts, 10 watts, you know.
Yeah, but this kid was, you know, he just didn't understand, you know, what 24 nicotine really meant. You know, he just thought, you know, oh, vaping is a new thing, why not just go with the wave of it?
Yeah.
You can't treat it as a hobby. You really can't, especially if you're trying to wean yourself off of cigarettes, you can't treat it as a hobby. I understand if you never had a cigarette in your life and you're vaping a zero. That's fine. I don't really, you know,
I mean, we get a few people in here that literally come in here to buy zeros from both of you, and that's all they want, and that's perfectly fine. Like, their friends might smoke, and it's just nice to vape, so you don't feel like you're out of the
out.
Yeah, but
or
you're not
like you're out at
nicotine.
the bar or something.
Yeah, and people are smoking, and you're trying to, you know, vape a little bit.
Well, you know, like the customers that come in here and they ask for zeros, and I ask right away. It's like, okay, so that's for a hobby, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, well, what do you like? You know, it's not like I'm gonna bash you because it's a hobby for you. You come in here and you say it's a hobby, and I'm like, oh well, fuck you. What are you gonna do?
I'm walking out.
Exactly.
Not coming back.
Just gonna walk the fuck out. I'm not gonna bash you because you're vaping zero nicotine. That's just bullshit. But if you're gonna vape 24 of an RDA at 100 plus watts, then that becomes a problem.
But that's why you need the people at your store to be knowledgeable and to hire people that aren't gonna sell the lines of bullshit, but are gonna I don't want to sell you what you want. I want to sell you what you need because I don't want you to come back in 2 days and be like, why did you sell me this? I don't like this. I want to get an analysis. We want to figure out what you need. You don't need to just walk out with anything.
Well, that's why we have the trial period. Like if you come into the shop, you sit at the bar, you test juices.
Yeah.
$1 will get you the whole fucking day to test juices. You try it out. We're not gonna just be like, here's a flavor. Have a fucking fantastic day.
Like what, 50 something house flavors and 20 national brand flavors and $1 to test them. If you walk away with the juice at 25 to test them, 25 cents to test them, I mean, you could test a good number of juices out.
And it's not like you have a certain time period to do it. I'm not gonna keep you out after 5 minutes of trying like 2 flavors. You can spend a half hour vaping one flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
As long as you don't vape all the damn juice.
And we can refill it.
But we have those customers too.
Yeah, we do.
But that way you get
We're
what
not
you,
gonna say any names.
that's what you mean when you get what you need. Try the flavor. Sit here and try the flavor for 30 minutes. Sometimes one hit of a flavor is not going to let you know. Hit it 7, 8, 9, 10 times, whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
But I think that's the number one thing is we have a whole economy of just giving people what they want and not figuring out what they might need. And again, some of these things might be unsafe for certain people. And it would really be bad due diligence to just give someone a 50% nicotine thing.
Ironically, we actually have, I don't know if Alec knows that, if Alec knows this or if you know this, we do have customers that come in here that have allergic reactions to specific things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have people that come in here that are allergic to like banana content. Stuff like that. We can take that into consideration. Sometimes the customer may feel odd about us asking about allergic reactions or stuff like that, but when you're in a line of business that deals with stuff like this, you have to take that into consideration. Because I'm not going to feed you a banana flavor, and then I get a call from your husband or your wife that you're in the hospital because of an e-liquid that I sold you.
Yep. Well, these are all food-based additives, so if you can't eat it in food, we don't want to sell it to you in a vape juice, because if it's bad for you in food, it's going to be bad for you if you breathe it in.
Yeah.
That's not something we want to deal with.
I mean, just going back onto the high nicotines. The one customer that we have that gets 12 milligram nicotine.
Yeah.
That I deal with generally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting him to go down to 9.
Not only that, we actually do have customers in here that are actually allergic to nicotine as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they vape to 0. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that.
Nope.
I mean, 80% of our customers that walk through our door have stopped smoking cigarettes altogether.
Yeah.
Out of that 80, I would say maybe about a good 30% of that 80, 40% of that 80 are down at 0.
Yeah.
10 to 20% of that 30 or to 40 stop vaping altogether. I mean, that's the end goal, is to stop vaping altogether. I mean, the reason why I do it at least is because I smoke cigars for the taste, the aroma, I enjoy that. I'm young enough where I can hopefully still destroy my body and regenerate it.
Well, that's another thing on those salt-based nicotines with their flavors. If you vape any of the flavors we have, you vape any national brands, you will eventually grow a dislike for the taste of tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started vaping, 3 weeks later I had a cigarette, I took one hit, threw it on the ground because it tasted like garbage.
Yeah.
I'm used to vaping like custards and strawberries, watermelons and stuff like that.
And it's weird being around people that still smoke cigarettes.
Yep.
Because you can smell them and it just makes you think.
You can
I
just smell them
actually
coming.
smell like that?
You
Yeah.
can smell them coming in the door.
Yeah.
You smell it in the door and you're like, ooh, well, that person's smoking cigarettes.
Yep. And it's horrifying.
But when you
it also
make,
doesn't help that when you're smoking a cigarette inside your household, like you have a white wall, it turns it like fucking yellowish brown. It's fucking disgusting.
my grandfather smoked a pipe in the same spot in his house for 30 years. I had to cut some of the roof out because I painted 7 layers of paint on top of a roof, and every week it would just bleed black nicotine from that roof. We had to go through and cut out part of his roof
Yeah.
just to make it safe. That's all it happened.
One of the cars I had in the past, you could tell there was a smoker that owned it before me because the entire one section of it was just yellow.
I
vape.
Fucking disgusting.
We vape religiously in my car.
Yeah.
There's no discoloring anywhere.
Nope.
I mean, it may be time that I get a new air filter, but
Yeah, but at least we're dealing with vape product and not, me lighting up a cigarette in your car and then ash just flying through like the air conditioner and shit like that, getting in your eye and stuff like that. We don't have to deal with stuff like that.
Nothing worse than dropping the cherry off the end of the cigarette while
Oh,
you're
yeah.
driving 80 miles an hour on the highway. What's that? I got to put that out.
I actually have a burn mark on my steering wheel from when I used to smoke cigars.
There you go. And I roll that.
Never had a burn mark on my steering wheel from a vape.
Nope. Not at all.
Don't vape and drive, people. Don't trip and drive.
Well, you can vape and drive, just don't.
Don't trip and drive. Have your co-pilot do that. If you don't have a co-pilot, get one.
Yeah.
Or get, a tank or a squonk mod.
Yep. Just don't trip and drive. That's
See,
the
your
best.
co-pilots are very affordable. All you gotta do is offer them something for free and they get in your car.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you want some free crack?
You can give me a blowjob if you get in the car.
There you go. There you go. I feel like if like the FDA is gonna shut down everything, we would be the guys in a giant van with a bunch of e-juice and mods, just pull up on someone, just open the fucking door like, yo, we got what you need.
Trench coat. What nick level do you need over here? I got your 6, your 9, your 12s.
Got you. Don't worry about it.
Who was that one company? We got the same juice from Phillips Moore. We got you. We're borrowing their lab.
Talking about the one in the basement?
Yep.
Philip Rock.
Philip Rock.
That's a character.
We made the same juice with Philip Rock.
Yeah, if you roll up with me saying that, I'm like, fuck you. There, go down the street some more. Have a nice day. I don't need bathroom fucking juice.
You don't want to splash a mold with your e-juice?
Fuck no. I'm alright.
It's the flavor sensation sweeping the nation.
It's bad enough I used to live in an apartment with fucking black mold, okay?
Yeah.
It's bad enough.
I remember when you had moved out there, I smelled that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
You can have fun. I'll stand by the car.
Huh? Yeah. It was fucking horrible.
Well, I went in there once, and the entire place is reeked. It was,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was horrible.
And it got worse, too.
Oh yeah, it always gets worse. I mean, shit, it smelled like fucking little shit and piss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we only have one cat in our apartment, and you don't smell anything.
No.
That's
I mean, the
sad
worst
part.
thing you smell is when one of us, fucks up the toilet.
Yeah. Or the worst thing you can smell is like fucking when you change the litter and it smells like nothing but dust.
You better pray for their toilet, because that thing is not going to
I was telling Joel about my crowning achievement the other
Yeah.
day at the shop.
Did you tell him how you bought 3 different toilet seats?
No. So when we first moved into our apartment, the toilet seat on there was fucking nasty. I don't like any house that we moved into. My parents had always just bought a new toilet seat. Like, we just never inherit the old one.
No, ew. That's like using the toilet brush that someone leaves there.
But
So-
the story gets worse. You know Alex, so
Apparently, we have an odd size toilet.
yeah.
I went down to Home Depot. They did not have the size toilet. The toilet seat was either too long or too short. I'm like, what the fuck? So after returning 3 toilet seats, I measured it. I went on the Amazon, ordered one. I'm like, fuck it. If this one works, if it doesn't work, we're just keeping it.
Yeah.
Thank God it works. But it came with the shittiest screws.
It barely works. When you sit on that shit, dude, it's like
I had to tighten those screws once a week.
It still does it, by the way. I hope you know that.
No, I know. I gotta retighten them again.
You got a thread locker?
No, they're plastic.
You can put thread lock on plastic.
I'll figure it out.
It's just so fucking annoying.
Don't
Why
buy
do you think
stuff
I
off
come here?
Amazon. Don't buy your toilet seats off Amazon.
Well, it's like don't buy your vape product on Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you can buy pre-made coils on Amazon.
But see, this is the thing, this guy down on the end is one of the best coil makers I've met, one of the best people to deal with, right? So what do you charge for 2 coils?
15.
15. You can come in, and if you're nice, you say, Stefan, could you make me some fresh coils? He'll sit right here in front of you and make some coils.
Yeah.
And you'll see them with your own eyes get made. You
Yeah.
get those things online.
I don't know what the fuck it's been.
They have a stock photo.
It could be like a Philip Rock situation. It
Yeah.
could be, made right next to a fucking bathroom with the bathroom door wide open.
I mean, shit, the dude could have been taking a shit,
Oh,
making
yeah.
the coils.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
if
it
I could
saves
do
time.
that, I wouldn't do
Does
that
save
with my
time.
coils. Like, take a shit, make some coils in the morning.
If you want to save time even more, just install a plasma screen TV in your bathroom. Put a fucking coffee pot in there. Fuck it, you're good.
Yeah.
You get your coffee, your pre-med coil, and your fucking daily porn or something.
Yeah.
Hourly.
Put a footrest
Okay,
up on there
hourly.
too. You don't want your legs to get tired while you're doing all this, so you might as well put something to put your feet up on.
Hell yeah. They're comfortable. Fuck it.
Just get a toilet with a fucking
Just put
ottoman.
the whole house into the bathroom. Just jam everything into the bathroom.
Oh god.
But yeah, so you buy those pre-made coils on Amazon. They're not checking those for resistance.
No,
they're not. They're
you
not
don't
going
know
to
where
give
the
you a
fuck
good
they come from.
accurate. Like they'll be like, oh, those are some 0.2 ohm coils. You don't know if they're 0.2 ohm
No.
coils or not.
But you got people like M-Turk, you know, a fantastic coil builder. On Instagram, he does live feeds of him just doing long ass fucking strips of wire, and you see what he does. You see his prep. You see everything. You know, if you buy something online, you don't get that satisfaction.
No.
You don't. The only way you're gonna get that satisfaction is if you actually see the person do it on a live feed or in person. Because you actually know what the fuck you're doing.
But it's nothing like bringing my mech mods in and being like, hey, could I get a 0.2 ohm coil in here? And like, okay, so my coil might be like a 0.22 ohm, but I'm not going to walk out with a 0.1 ohm when I ask for a 0.2. Or
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull out with a 0.09 on a mech mod when I ask you for a 0.2.
Yeah.
And when you buy those online, you're taking that hit or miss.
Well, not even that, but you also don't know what kind of wire they're using. I mean, how many times have we seen customers, or we've gone to another shop that have been people praise them for their coils, and like a week later they're getting brand new coils because they look like they've been through hell.
Well, that's like when before I started building coils, I would literally buy like Coil Master coils and stuff like that. Like,
because you think they're good because of the toolkits are great.
well, not only that, once I started
here.
learning more about coils, I looked at those pre-mades and I saw like so much spacing, and like the quality of them was just shit.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't care what Coil Master thinks of it. You know, I don't think that their product is up to par, especially when it comes to the pre-made.
Not
coils.
for the price they're charging for them.
Their build kit's phenomenal, but their pre-made coils garbage. Sorry.
That's like some of the other stuff that we do. Like certain products from a certain company might be good, but then something else they sell is complete junk. So you got to know the difference between that. You can't say just because the coil kits are good means that the build kit's good, so the coils must be good. It's two different things.
Well, that's just like saying, well, Aspire's last mod was good. Well, that doesn't say shit about their tanks down, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's one thing to watch out for. I think I've seen that on a few of the builder videos and some of the review videos. When you see those cheap coils online, you notice they get rusty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And come on, you're vaping rust.
Yeah.
Well, I've also ordered, random ass coils online and it said, Kenthal and stuff like that, and it came out to be stainless steel.
Yeah.
You can't just, mark your shit as one thing and then have it be another thing.
Mm-hmm.
That becomes a very dangerous thing in this world.
Well, it's also illegal.
Yeah.
And again, when you watch these coils get made, you see the spools, you see what it says on the spool. You know you're getting Kanthal, you know you're getting nichrome.
Well, actually, just for you, we do switch out the spools.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah, man.
Straight stainless.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Straight
my
nickel.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
Nickel and titanium, bro. Got you.
Can I get some tin coils up in here?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll give you a stove top and nothing but fucking nickel coil. Why not?
I have some sheet roofing back behind the thing. We can just go cut a strip of that and you can make me like a staple coil with some roofing tin.
You guys already big enough for that shit, man?
I do. They're sitting with the Buddha right here.
Gotcha.
You can fit fucking anything
That's
in that.
the deal right there.
Dude, quad roof coils?
Fuck yeah. Rust included.
Oh, of course. They've been sitting
Adds
outside.
flavor.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's flavor, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's character.
Just go up to New York, dip them in some water there.
Yeah. Go
New
wipe
York
them
water?
wipe them on the inside of a taxi cab. You gotta get that authentic flavor.
Hell yeah. But again, what do we know? It's not like we're in the shop on a daily basis.
Yeah.
When I'm off work, I'm still here. When you're off work, you're still here.
Oh yeah.
Joel don't even work here and he gets here every fucking day.
Joel didn't work here. He's here helping out with the channel and everything.
No, like that. Like every time I see Joel, I'm just like, yo, sit at the bar. I got something new for you to try.
Yep.
There's some new clothes for you. Like, tell me what you think. Every fucking time.
I just sit here and try to talk to people. keep them in the shop longer, because the longer they're here, the better it is for everybody. So that's definitely something to go over. If you don't have the personality to do this, you shouldn't, but we'll cover that on another video. Right along there with shooting yourself in the foot. If you can't engage a customer, you don't have...
You don't belong in retail.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
Because that customer wants that personalized experience. They want to think that they're the most important thing that happened that day, and if you can't closely approximate that, then something's wrong.
Wait, I'm not the most important thing that happened.
You are the most important thing that happens every day.
I'm gonna just go ahead and just pull out his battery.
Yeah.
Power down now. It's okay. It's power down. It's alright, bud.
It's just...
We definitely wanted to bring some awareness to these topics. This is our first podcast that we're doing as a group, and we definitely have a lot more things lined up that we want to talk about. Our biggest thing is spreading information. The more people that we can spread information to, the better it is for everybody. The more informed customer is the best customer.
Oh, yeah.
It's the customer that doesn't know anything that's the one that gets the wool pulled over their eyes.
Well, again, I'll just tell you how many times I've had customers just come in here and sat down with them for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. They didn't buy a single thing, but they walked out with a hell of a lot more information than they wanted to.
How many of those people end up coming back on you, though, from your amount of knowledge that you're able to share with them?
I would say about 90%.
And there you go. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is king.
Well, anyways, that has been our first podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be uploading this to YouTube as well as hopefully iTunes and other platforms. Let us know what you thought of it in the description down below. If you have any future topics you'd like to hear us talk about, you can shoot them over to CSL Vapes at gmail.com. Just label, put in the subject field podcast topics, and we'll let you know if we picked it. And if we did, in the future we might be doing some giveaways and stuff like that. So stay tuned.
And on YouTube, make sure you subscribe.
Oh yeah, Stefan's going to be your
Notification.
The subscribe button's right by you.
Fuck. Just remember to subscribe. It should be like right here, and like, and comment, and remember to vape safe.
Yeah. Hit that little bell icon down there as well. That really helps us out, as well as let us know if you like it by giving us a thumbs up. So until next time, keep on vaping.